What's going on, YouTube? It's been a while since I posted a video on my pickup, a mileage update, anything like that. I apologize. Life is, crazy busy, as I'm sure it is for most of you guys out there too. But anyway, not quite to 30,000 miles. Just thought I'd show you kind of where it's at, 27.4. Typically when I do these videos, I'm driving too, so you see how the trucks shift in and run in and that sort of thing. But picking up my kid from school and just realized I haven't done one in a while. So since my last video, did I have any issues, complaints, pros, cons, whatever? One thing that was kind of interesting was I did have a radio update that came into play. All is good, working now obviously, but radio stopped working. Got one of those similar messages you would get on a computer saying your truck's downloading an update, could take X amount of time, whatever the case may be. And it did its update and all seems to be working well. One thing excuse me, that I have had it in the shop for, and I don't know if other people have had this same issue, is on your deck. If you go to your phone, you have your favorites up here. So those favorites never used to save every time I would enter them in. They would stick around for a week and then they're gone. So I had it in a couple times for them to look at it. They did the flash updates or whatever you want to call it. Like, the solution to everything nowadays is let me plug it in, give you an update. If it doesn't work, come back. Because we have all the time in the world to drive back and forth to a dealership. Well, this one I'm happy to say stuck. It's been a couple months maybe, and this is the longest they've been on there, so I'm going to chalk that up as a win. Seems to be working just fine. Had some thoughts about trading up and going to a 5th gen equivalent trim package, maybe a higher one up higher, but I don't buy anything first model year, and quite frankly, I just don't. There's no reason other than that little hiccup with the phone settings, the favorites. This truck has been flawless. As you can tell, it's just the Bighorn edition for anybody that hasn't seen my channel. Bighorn crew cab, long bed, and the only other thing I don't remember mentioned on any other videos, these garage door buttons right here. I have never got those things to work on my truck. I've cleared it. If you hold the 1 and 3 position, you hold it down. It says clearing channels. So this is to wipe anything that may be in there now, anything stored. Keep holding this down until I believe it says cleared. There you go. Channel's cleared. So I should be able to program any one of those 3 buttons up here to any one of these, to any garage door I have. Well, only one I've tried on is my own, multiple times, every which way possible. My wife's car programmed to the garage door, not a big deal. This truck will not program. So, and actually, I'm going to shut that off because I don't let these trucks idle. But other than that, like I said, no complaints on the truck. Just put some new tires on it. Went with the BFG KO2s. This is my second time running those tires. I personally love them. Yes, they wear down a little bit faster, I think, for the heavier trucks, the diesels, versus a lighter half-ton pickup or smaller. But in my opinion, the traction they provide is pretty awesome. There could be something better out there. I don't know. But this is just kind of what works for me. And the last thing I want to touch base on, there's all these people on YouTube with Chevys, Fords, Rams, whatever, and they'll explain an issue they've had with their truck or something that their truck didn't do. And people jump on the comments and just waylay it to death. Oh, well, if you had a Chevy, you wouldn't have had this problem. If you had a Ford, you wouldn't have had this problem. If you had a Dodge, etc., or a Ram. I'm biased to the Cummins. I like the Cummins motor. I like how it operates. However, I will say that and slower speeds and stop and go traffic, I actually kind of prefer the way the Duramax runs. I like the higher RPMs it keeps. The Ram's designed to run at a lower RPM. This thing will run all day long at 1,000 RPM by design, but sometimes I almost get kind of a pulsing when it does that, because it's almost like it's lugging it too much, and that's not pulling anything. So put it in tow haul, goes away, downshift it a gear, goes away. But you know, we're breaking down the nitpicky stuff on these trucks, and that's kind of one that I don't care for. But other than that, the point I'm trying to make is these trucks are designed to work. And I don't care if you run a Chevy, Dodge, or Ford, you start putting 20 plus thousand pounds behind these trucks and burying your foot to the floor day in, day out, uphills, whatever, you're gonna break something. You're gonna find the weakest link in that powertrain, and it's gonna get destroyed. That's just the way it is. So yes, some manufacturers might have a better rep. Yes, they make some parts stronger than others, but the bottom line is you're gonna break something. I don't care if you got the best transmission in the world, arguably the Allison, some say the Ison. It's all a matter of opinion, but you start pushing 1,000 foot-pound of torque and this much horsepower with your foot buried to the floor, going uphill with 25,000 pounds day in, day out. Eventually, something's going to let go. And when something does let go, everybody says, well, if you would have had this, you wouldn't have had that problem. The point I'm trying to make is you guys got to know basic mechanics. You got to know your trucks. You take care of them, they take care of you. As a guy, PD Diesel Power, has said multiple times, and look at these guys. They're deciding they're going to come the wrong way down a one-way street. I think they're realizing it. You can't fix stupid. But anyway, you take care of your stuff and it takes care of you. You got to be able to drive it properly. Don't push it. Push it when you have to, but do it with caution. Do it with common sense. A lot of people say, well, I just got in the truck and drove it. I was in a hurry, so my foot was to the floor. I couldn't get over 55, and eventually something let go. Well, yeah, duh. What kind of load were you pulling? What were you doing? So anything that you buy nowadays, I'm not bagging on any one of the brands. I think nowadays you go get a truck, you got yourself a dang good truck. You plan on hot shotting with that truck? Well, you might want to put a few more things into the mix and what you want to buy and how you want that thing to be, built and decked out, and the brand and what the brand has to offer. But for the weekend warriors that pull their boats and travel trailers a dozen times a year, 24 times a year, you're not going to get a big difference in reliability with any of the three trucks if you take care of it, if you have any kind of common sense. So, the people that jump on YouTube and say, well, if you would have had a Duramax, you'd never had that problem, or that Ford's a piece of crap. Really, it just gets old. I mean, the keyboard warriors are always going to be around. I get it. If they're on my channel, I block them. But you want to input something intelligent, input something intelligent. You want to give an experience on your truck and what you had happen in a neutral way, and people want to be neutral in their comments or proactive, I'm all for it. But to give a stupid comment like a Duramax wouldn't have done that, or that Ram's a piece of crap, save it. Everybody says it on every forum, every channel. We get it. If you don't like a brand, great. But when someone's already having a bad enough day because their truck's broke down, we just don't need to hear that crap. So, sorry about the rant and rave. This is supposed to be kind of an update video on my truck, but I read them all the time. It gets super old. So, anyway, like I said, not anything really to report with the truck. We're almost at 30,000. We're running strong. Typically, I'm driving down the road when I do this, so you can see, temperatures and parameters and how the truck's running, responding, shifting, all that kind of good stuff. And this time I just happened to be parked. But one thing that'd be kind of cool is if I could get these buttons down here removed and get those auxiliary buttons. That'd be kind of neat. If I ever do it again, that'd be the way I would go. Because right now, my light bar on my truck, I've actually kind of snuck down. Let's see if I can get it. There's my switch. And the reason why I put it on this panel down here was if the light bar ever goes away, I don't have a hole in my truck. And that's just one small panel. I'm sure it's, you know, $1,000 from the dealership, but you could probably find one at a junkyard for $1, $2. You just pop the panel in, done. But having the auxiliary buttons would be kind of nice. Ford, I'll give it to you. Your auxiliary buttons that you put up here on the Fords, yeah, well done. That was genius as far as I'm concerned. So I'll let you go, guys. Sorry for the rant and rave. Like I said, just trying to give you an update on where we're at with the truck. I'll try to get some more towing videos this spring and get those loaded up. And I promised a couple guys, if you can see it in the rear view mirror, you can't really see it very well because of the phone, obviously. I'll go this way. The Diamondback HD cover on my truck. I'll try to get a how-to video and some stuff like that. But anyways, if you have good, educated, proactive questions, comments, whatever, hit me up. I'll be glad to answer them. But if you're going to tell me that one truck's better than another because of the make and blah, 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 don't expect a response and probably get blocked from the channel. So anyways, have a great day. Be blessed. And we'll see you guys on the next one.